Greetings everyone, welcome to Just Advanced. And this game is from 1957, and this game was played by, with the white pieces, we have Mikhail Taimanov. Definitely you've heard from the Taimanov variation of the Sicilian, and with the black pieces, he doesn't need any introduction. He's Mikhail Tal, former world champion, and you're gonna absolutely adore this game. So without further ado, let's start this game. Uh, First, Taimanov starts with c4 in the show, playing knight to f6 and just knight to c3. Well, we go into the Anglo-Indian defense, and we have e6, d4, and just bishop to b4. And now we have e3, c5, but now just going for bishop to d3, and we have castles, knight to f3, and just d5. And now just white simply castles, and we have knight to c6, but now just going for this a3, asking bishop if you want to move back, but definitely you don't want to move back, you want to trade. Here c captures first, not even trading that, but going for a different type of variation. Definitely only Tal could do this. Here just a captures, d captures, and now just b captures, and we have queen to c7, but now just queen to e2, and now we have bishop to d7, e4, but now we have d captures, bishop captures, and just knight captures, and we have queen captures, just trading those pieces. We have f6, not allowing any jumps, and here just rook to d1. And the position in this is absolutely fine. I mean, it's a drawing position, but as black you can develop a lot easily rather than this bishop. I mean, you have to connect the rooks. I mean, this bishop doesn't have a square. Yes, you could trade there, but this just doesn't seem like a good square. So here just rook f to d8, but now we have this bishop to e3, but now just e5, not allowing any further jumps of the bishop. Queen to d5 check, and now just king back to h8, king to h8, and just queen to d6, asking for a queen trade. And you could trade here, but if you trade, then just rook captures. And here, after a move like bishop to e8, you don't want to double up, because if you trade too many pieces here, I mean, because if you do this, then just rook trade, and after rook trade, you just get another rook, and you trade that as well. And it goes into a drawish endgame. I mean, there's no point about it. So here, just rook caps on d8, but now after rook caps on d8, we have knight to d2, and now going for this a6, knight to b3, bishop to f7, just going for that pawn, but instead of saving it, you just attack black's pawn. And here after rook to b8, knight to b7, just moving around. Here you're going to trade those pawns, and you're going to get this position where you have equal material. It's most likely going to be a draw, but in Tal's hand it could be winning, but it's just very hard to tell. But here after queen to d6, we have queen to c8. Tal not trading queens, not the one to trade queens. We have b5, and this b5 moves just completely blunders the game, because now you understand that it's going to be very much difficult, because you can see that the queen is under the rook shadow, and you have to be very much careful as to where are you going to move the queen if the bishop moves. And that's exactly what Tal plays. Tal goes for bishop to h3. And one other thing that you have to be careful about in this position is that if you move just the queen anywhere else to just protect it, let's say you play silly moves, then the queen is going to jump in, and the threat is going to be very difficult, because this knight is not protected. And even if you play like g3, you just lose your knight, and next move you're going to get mated. So you're going to have to be very much careful. And I'm going to ask you to pause the video and try your luck, find out the best move in this position, because you have already blundered, and you have to try and save the game, or at least prolong it, so the black makes some mistakes. So have at it. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move. And the move is not actually moving your queen, but this b captures, and this is impossible to find it. I mean, in a classical game you're gonna have to spend like 30 minutes or something on this. This is just impossible to find, because after rook captures the queen, you play rook captures, and here once the bishop moves back, now you can play c captures, queen caps on b7, knight to d2, and here after h6, rook a to d6, queen to b2, and now you play this h3, king to h7. You get this position where for the price of queen you have two rooks, but here for the price of bishop you have a bishop, but for a rook unfortunately you have a knight. So technically speaking, in material terms, you're just an exchange down, but positionally speaking you're just completely lost, because you cannot beat in this position. I mean, if you remove a few pawns, then definitely, I mean, you could be better, but otherwise you just cannot do that. So here you can do nothing in this position. I mean, he's completely lost, but still that was the best thing that Taimanov had in this position. Taimanov went for queen to a3, but now the idea comes alive, because here rook caps on d1, after rook captures, queen to g4, and now you're getting mated if you don't push this. But you also have one more move. You can also give up your rook. How can you give up your rook? It's just simply knight to e1, and here the attack is simple. And here queen caps on d1, g captures, but now you play queen caps on e1, and here after king to g2, knight to d4, and just after captures, and you just move the bishop away. But now you can see that you're an exchange down and a few pawns down, so I mean, it's going to be very much difficult for Taimanov to hold this position, especially against Tal. Queen to e4 check, but now here just king to g3, h5, queen to d6, and hereafter king to h7, queen to d7. I mean, it's only a matter of time where Taimanov just realizes that he resigns the game, because it's impossible until unless the Tal just completely blunders a whole rook. This position is completely losing. Here rook to e8, but now h4, queen to g6 check, king to f3, and just rook to e1. And it was on this move, on move 31, that Taimanov resigned the game, and Tal got the spectacular victory in just 31 moves against one of the elite players of all time. So thank you for watching.